y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing a look that you guys voted on. I call it the Cotton Candy Fairy because it kind of reminds me of like cotton candy, but then like some fairiness. I don't know, it's just the name that I came up with, so that's the name that we're going to be doing today. For my brows, I use the Amazon Music Flower Long Wear Gel Eyeliner. Jeez, that is a mouthful. I use that to fill in my brows. It's like a gel liner, of course that's why it's called gel liner. But yeah, I just, you know, start like where my natural brows are. I think I've said this like several times in my videos. The brows are nothing special, just kind of draw them on. I use my natural brow as reference, and this is, you know, just kind of filling that in. So the topic of discussion for this video is going to be mental health. I'm not sure who needs to hear this, but I don't know why it's been on my heart like so heavy to just continue to talk about it. Like I kind of briefly mentioned it on my Instagram, but for whatever reason it just keeps coming back up. Like for whatever reason you just need to talk. I don't know why, so I'm not sure who's watching this or who really needs to like hear this, but mental health is super important, so I really wanted to go over that in this video. I wanted to kind of finish my brow first before we kind of dive into that, because okay, so I kind of drew my brows on like a smidget too thick, but that's okay, we just gonna roll with it today. To clean up my brows, you guys know I've been using the Instant Age Rewind from Maybelline, right? Yeah, from Maybelline, and I go under and I go over. I know some people don't go over them. More power to you. I like a more of a crispy brow. I don't know how to achieve that without using the concealer, so not at that point yet. So I like to use the concealer just to clean it up. And I start from like, you know, just the bottom, and I always bring it in here. I've said this before, but I always bring it into like that inner, just to make sure it's even and crispy. So yeah. But if it's ever too thick, then I always take off from the bottom before I take off from the top. So just my personal thing. I feel like people are super focused on creating generational wealth, which is amazing. I totally salute that. But I also think that, especially in the Black community, I feel like we have to be more conscious about creating generational health as well, because some of us have grown up very traumatized and we live in trauma and we think that that's okay and that's the way of life. I'm here to let you know it's not. Coming from somebody who has a very traumatic background, I'm telling you that it's not. And you know, it's okay to go seek a counselor, sis. Like go see a counselor, you know, it's nothing wrong with that. I feel like sometimes, especially in the Black community, we feel like if you go see a counselor, then that means that you're crazy. And that's not the case at all. Sometimes it just means like, shit, I got some shit I need to get off of my chest before I wind up with a case. And I know that was the exact case, or the exact situation for me, is that I needed to go seek help because I was angry. Sorry, I got a piece of hair somewhere around my face and I can't find it. I can't find it. But I was extremely freaking angry all the time, and I couldn't understand why. My childhood was very traumatic, and I didn't realize that it was traumatic until I got older and I got like around semi-healthy relationships, and I was like, oh, like y'all act like that? I totally thought that was fucking normal. Fighting all the time, like physical violence. Growing up, I caught so many fucking cases. It makes no sense. All I can do right now is I can just thank God that I caught cases prior to me hitting 18. So my records are sealed and they didn't keep me from getting a good job, because baby, if I would have caught those same exact cases as an adult, like, can you imagine where I would be right now? And even if you have cases, I'm just here to let you know, like, there's always a road for redemption all the time. Like, you don't have to, you know, just think this is the end all be all, because it's not. This is just the what is this, a Real Techniques brush that I'm using just to blend out my brows, like that concealer, just blending it out. And then I'm gonna take like a little spoolie, because this one, oh, you thin, mama. I'm gonna take a little spoolie and just kind of spoolify that out, because she was a little thin. Alright, so I'm going in with, this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeshadow primer, and I'm just applying this. Before I was applying it with my finger until I had nails, and now I can't really reach it, so I'm applying this with like a little brush. I'm just putting it like directly on my lid. That makes sense, directly on the lid, and then I'm going to blend it out with a brush. But if you want to do it with your hand, you can. I normally do not do my eyes first. You guys know that. I normally do my what you call that, my face first. Jeez Louise, I'm getting old, I can't remember shit. Okay, so I'm gonna just apply this out. I'm holding this mirror here because I have a mirror in front of me, but I can't really see, so I'm gonna be holding this up during this. But like I was saying, there is nothing wrong with wanting to go see a therapist. I know that sometimes, majority of the time in Black communities, you know, we're told that if you go see a therapist, then that makes you crazy. And I'm here to let you know that it doesn't. It doesn't make you crazy. It makes you very sane, because you know how strong you got to be to realize that there's something wrong with you. Like, this ain't normal, and the way that I'm feeling is not normal, and I need somebody to just vent to. And really, a therapist is just really there as a person that is neutral, you know what I'm saying? And they hear you out, they listen to you, and then they help you come up with solutions on how to get better. I'm telling y'all, I was so freaking angry. I didn't stop becoming angry maybe until, I want to say maybe like 2017 is when I really stopped being angry as I was. I'm not gonna say that like all of my anger was gone, but maybe in like 2017 is when I really stopped being as angry. And that's because I started to like really sit down and be like, hey, I'm not feeling right. I know that the way that we grew up was not the best. It was the best that my mom could do. But was it conducive to us? I don't ever want to take away from my mother, because I feel like she did the best that she could. Did she always do it right? Absolutely not. But if you don't know any better, how can you do better, you know? Okay, so we're going to be using the James Charles palette, and we're going to be literally using all of these colors right here. And then we're also going to mix it with that blue. Did you guys see the colors? Okay, yeah. Then we're going to mix it with this blue right there. That's literally the end of this look. Like, this look was super quick, super simple, but it came out bomb. Hopefully it comes out bomb again, because I semi kind of remember what I did. Not all the way, but I semi kind of remember. So hopefully it comes out just as good. Okay, so we're going to apply this to our crease. Just going to start in the crease this time and just blend it out. But back to what I was saying. So my mom did the best that she could. She learned how to parent from her mom. And was her mom the best? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? Like, but when you have no other guide, then you just do the best that you can. And I feel like we suffered a lot of abuse growing up. We suffered a lot of abuse, verbally, physically. And it wasn't until I had my kids, and my kids turned maybe 3 or 4, that I realized, like, this is not okay. Like, I don't want to be like that. Like, that's just something I didn't want to do. Like, I didn't want to parent the same way. I didn't want to yell at my kids the same way. Like, I wanted it to be different. And in order for me to make it different, because I didn't know how, like, this is the example that I had right here, and I'm trying to get over here. How can I get over there when I don't know how or where to start? So that was like my motivation to go to counseling. I didn't understand why I was so angry, because I was very angry. Like, it was to the point that I would have blackouts. Like, I would get so freaking filled with rage that I would black out. And I couldn't understand why I was always so angry. Like, I didn't want anybody to talk to me. I didn't want anybody to be near me. I didn't have friends. I wasn't open to new healthy relationships. Like, I was toxic. Like, I was toxic as fuck. Like, seriously, when it came to like personal relationships with men, because all I knew and all I had ever seen was relationships that weren't healthy. And sometimes I say it to this day, I don't know how to have healthy relationships with men. And it's not because I don't want to. It's because I never had that example. I know what I don't want. I don't want to be fighting and it results in like physical violence. I don't want to argue all the time. And I do realize that sometimes arguing can be healthy. But to like constantly stay in a situation where I'm unhappy, that's something I don't want, because I lived the better part of 24, 25 years being angry like all the time, like just being pissed, being so fucking upset, you know, and I didn't realize that it stemmed from my childhood. Like I said, once I had my kids got older and I started to parent them, and I was like, I don't want them to suffer the same way I did. Like, I lived in fear. I was scared of my mom all the time, and I didn't want that for my children. Once again, I'm not bashing my mother on the way that she was. She didn't know any better. But I know better now, and I want to do better. So I didn't want that for my children, and I was like, we gotta find a way to be better. And the only way I can go and be better is to go get counseling and try to figure out a way that I can be calmer around my children, that I can have peace, because it wasn't just about the kids, it was about me too. Like, I had so much inner turmoil that like I wasn't sleeping at night. I just didn't have a sense of peace. Like, I wasn't smiling. So what you guys see now, it took years of work to get here now, you know. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with like that purple, and we're gonna kind of like smoke out these edges, because you know they a little harsh and we don't need that in our lives, you know. So yeah, it took me waking up one day and just being like, this is not the life I want to live. So sometimes I feel like as Black people, we put so much emphasis on generational wealth. You got to create generational wealth. What about breaking generational curses? Like, what about that? Like, we have to break curses, you know what I'm saying? Talking to your child any and every kind of way is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. It's not okay, you know. Like, under any circumstances, it's not okay for you to call your daughter a bitch. Like, that's not okay. And I had to get to the point where I had to learn, like, say, the way that people in my family talk to me, it's not okay. Because then I would talk to my child that way. If I don't want a motherfucker on the street talking to my kid that way, I probably shouldn't talk to my child that way. But that's just a logical way of thinking. If you grew up in dysfunction, and all you know is dysfunction, you think that shit is okay. It's not. It's not, baby girl. It's not. So like I said, I'm gonna keep saying it this whole video. I'm not sure who needs to hear this, but it's not okay. I'm pretty sure when you do it, it probably don't even feel right. Our parents did the best that they could, raising us with the tools that they have. But now that we are, you know, in 2020, like, we have so many different resources that we could use to become better. So why not use those to become better? If you have insurance through your job offers a EAP plan, where you can go and get maybe, like, I think it's like 5 or 6 sessions of therapy for free every year. Use that to your advantage. Go and get help. Even if you just need to talk to somebody and vent, like, just get that shit out. I'm telling you, it's gonna make your life so much easier. Like, once I started and I got most of it out, like, of course, like, the first couple times I got it out, like, it's painful. It was super painful. It was hurtful. I cried. I was angry because I had to deal with some shit from my past that I hadn't dealt with in years. My way of coping, and it's always been my way of coping until I learned that it was not healthy, is I just don't think about shit. I'd be like, okay, that happened, I'm just not gonna think about it no more, and that's just my way of coping, when in reality it's building barriers and it's keeping people from making connections with me because I'm not dealing with stuff. So me not dealing with stuff is throwing on layers, it's throwing on layers and throwing on layers, which is making it hard for people to connect with me. And that was something I didn't want. Like, I got to a point like, shit, I'm fucking 25. This is a couple years ago. I'm fucking 25 and I have not made genuine connections with anybody. like, wow, I'm gonna be sad and lonely. Like, and that's something I don't want. Something I don't want for me, something I don't want for my kids. Like on holidays, we didn't have anywhere to go because my family is dysfunctional and I don't want to deal with that. So we didn't have anywhere to go. And it was just us, and I was like, you ain't got no friends. Like, this has to stop. Like, everybody that comes into your life is not here to hurt you. And I think that's what I thought. I thought everybody that came into my life was out to get me. They were out to hurt me. They was gonna walk out anyway, so wasn't even no point in me trying to get to know them. And that's not the case. Hell yeah, you gonna have some people that come in your life just be on bullshit. But once you get to a place where you're able to open up your eyes, you will know, and you will let that person go before it even gets to the point of you being hurt. You'll know. So this is literally it for the shadows. I'm going to go back in with this purple one more time. And I'm going to just put it right here on the corner just to kind of deepen that up a little bit before I cut my crease. So yeah. And do that just so it's a little deep over there. I think what we fear as people is the fear of losing our family, and I'm here to tell you that just because y'all blood, it does not mean that that relationship is healthy. Sometimes you gotta let go of people, and that includes your family. Sometimes when they're not healthy for you, like, you gotta let that shit go, because my inner peace is worth way more than me sitting over here living in misery for you. I've let go of people super close to me. I've let go of my mom. Like, I haven't talked to my mom in years, and that's just because the relationship that me and her had, it was very toxic. And I just got to a point where I was like, I'm not doing this no more. Like, I'm not doing this no more. My fear was, the Bible tells us to love thy mother and thy father, and I was always afraid of having heaven's I know this is probably funny to say, but having heaven's gates closed on me for not doing that. So even when she was abusive, even when she was, you know, screaming and yelling and doing things that I felt were super toxic and super unhealthy for me, I still wanted to love her, because I was like, man, Jesus gonna have to let me in. Like, he just gonna have to let me in, because I did what I was supposed to do. I did this, I did that. And I had to get to a point like, look, you are hurting yourself every single day. You are hurting yourself. Like, you have to get out of this. I know that's your mom. I know you love her, but I have to love you from afar. I have to pray for you every night. I hope that everything is going well for you. I just can't love you this close. That's a harsh reality, because who wants to be without their mom? I never thought I would be without my mom, but I had to make a decision, especially when I had kids. I was like, you know, I have to be an example for them. I have to show them what healthy relationships are. This isn't a healthy relationship. So if I don't stop this, they'll grow up and they'll think that this is okay, and this is how you interact with your mom, and this is how you interact with people out there. And I don't even think that most of us realize that kids learn behavior, it starts in the home. All of the behavior that the kids learn, it starts at home. For me, I'm not a hugger. I'm not a hugger. I'm not really emotional. I'm not really affectionate. And that's because, like, I didn't get that at home. You know what I'm saying? And so we were always taught to, like, be strong, be tough, and don't cry, and don't, you know, feel anything. And I don't think that my mom really understood how hurtful that was to us, you know. So when I do get upset, I was like, well, just be strong, you know, 10 toes down, and shit gonna be straight. Like, I've always told myself that. But you have to be okay with changing. I think that's like the biggest thing. Like, you have to change. Like, you have to. If you don't change, then the people after you won't. You know what I'm saying? And we got to break these curses. We have to break generational curses, okay? And then we can work on generational wealth. But first, let's break these curses, okay? The curses that were put on us by our forefathers, like the curses that were put on us and we didn't even know. Like, we need to break all of that. We're breaking every single chain. We're breaking all freaking chains of destruction around here. And that's just where I'm at with the whole thing. Okay, so some of you guys have been asking me, how do I do my cut creases? How do I get them so crispy? I'm telling y'all, I didn't even know they was crispy till y'all said something for real, for real. So thank you. But what I do is I take concealer. Usually I would love to take a white, but I don't have a white, so we're just going to use this, and I just look up. So I apply the concealer and then I look up, and I guess that just kind of gives me the perfect effect. Like I'm not overdrawing or underdrawing or whatever. So I just kind of look up, and then I take my mirror, take like a little flat brush, and I probably need to get like a flatter brush because this one's kind of flat, but I kind of made it into this brush. Like this is supposed to be like an eyeshadow brush, but I kind of flattened it out and just kind of made this my brush. And then I just kind of follow that line. And that's it. Like every once in a while I'll go over it, like above it just a little bit, because I feel like maybe, I didn't think so before, but maybe I do have hooded eyes and I just wasn't aware of it. I don't know, guys. You guys know I just do what I can when I can. So yeah, but I just kind of, you know, just pat this out. If you look up when you're doing your cut crease, like your cut crease will already be formed for you, which I find is like a lot easier. But yeah, so we just trucking along here. So I didn't realize that we do stuff subconsciously and you don't even know that you're doing it. I didn't realize it until I began to talk to a counselor. Like I have never really seen my kids cry. Like never, to a point where they're having like a meltdown. And that's probably because I've never had a meltdown in front of them. Like anytime I feel like I gotta cry, I wait until they go to sleep, and then I go in my closet and I just break. But I feel like with me, I can't break as much as I would like, because, how do I word this? I'm the strong one because it's just me and my kids. So I have to always be strong. And if I break, who's going to be strong for me? So I really don't have time to be broken. Like I don't have time to feel hurt. I don't have time to feel pain. And that's something I'm still working through, because I think that it's healthy for you to feel those things, because they help you process and they help you heal. I'm not fully there yet. Like I'm still at the point of I can't cry. Like if some shit pop off today, I'm like, bitch, you better put on your thinking cap and get some stuff to come out of it, because you cannot cry. And like I said, if I do cry, then I just make sure that I wait until they go to sleep, and then I'll go in my closet and I'll break, and then it's like, all right, you had that moment, now pick yourself up and let's go. Like that's it, you know. So I always have to just remind myself that it is okay to be, I'm not gonna say it's okay, you know what, it is okay to be broken, but it's not okay to stay that way. So if there's something that is going on in your life right now, I need you to do all the crying you're gonna do, be hurt for 2 or 3 days, and then you get up and you come up with a plan to get you up out of there. Because it's not okay to stay that way. It's okay to realize that you are broken and you're hurt, but I also need you to realize that there is a way out of that. So let's go, because at the end of the day, you that bitch, okay? I don't care what happened, okay? You are that bitch. So I hope y'all receive this with open arms. I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus. I'm just really speaking, and I don't even talk this much, y'all. I'm really just speaking from my heart, because I feel like somebody need to hear it. I don't know who. You don't have to comment, you don't have to say nothing, but if you received it, just know I love you, okay? I love you. So I try to make sure, oh, my head is itching. I try to make sure that my cut creases are as similar as possible. It doesn't always come out right, because I think I have 2 different shaped eyes, but I don't know. But this one over here always comes out really perfect, and then this one I always have to kind of just like mess with it a little bit to get it there. I did notice that I have to kind of let the concealer dry before I blend out my edges. Otherwise I'll have like this, I don't know, demarcation line, and it just doesn't look, you know, really good. So I always try to make sure that I leave that dry just a little bit, you know. But what was I saying? Like I was saying, so like a turning point for me is when I realized like my kids didn't really cry. I had a moment where one of my kids, boy oh boy, did they do some messed up stuff. And my kids are 7. I have twins. So I've never really gotten to a point where like I'm really like angry. Like I get upset with them all the time, but like really to the point where I'm like, whoo, I am upset, kid. Like I was at that point, and I realized that my daughter, yeah, I was told you which child it was. My daughter just kind of looked at me and was like, hand me down the punishment. She didn't say this, but it kind of came off like that, like just hand down the punishment and let me just deal with what I gotta deal with type stuff. She didn't cry, and I think that what happened, I think it should have been like a total meltdown. I think for any other 7-year-old that probably would have been a very traumatic experience, but for her it was kind of like, I'm gonna just take that shit on the chin and let's keep moving. And I realized that subconsciously I had accidentally trained, I'm not even gonna say trained, but I had shown them that's what you do in those situations. Like you deal with it, you don't cry, you don't get upset about it, and you move on. And that was the point that I was like, I gotta do better. Because for them to be 7 and they're already, do I say like cold? They're already like cold. And it took me 27 years to get this way, you know? I think that was extremely, like I'm getting emotional right now just thinking about that. That was extremely scary for me. That was extremely scary. Like to know that I became this cold because things had happened to me to make me this way. And I subconsciously made my children that way at 7. And I'm dealing with a lot of hurt, and I didn't want to put that off on them. So that's when my turning point came, and I was like, bitch, you need to go get you some help. Like it's time. Like it's really time to go and get you some help and figure out why the hell you are the way that you are. Okay, so we're gonna blend this out over here. We're just gonna bring it in just a smidget. I would say like right here to your brow, like right there. Just gonna bring that purple in, just kind of, you know, all up in there. And yeah, that was definitely my turning point. I was like, yeah, I don't want my kids to always have to be tough, because sometimes you gotta break, man. Sometimes you gotta break in order for God to give you your blessings, you know. And I told somebody this on one of my Instagram posts, like I get super, I'm not gonna say super excited, but like if stuff keeps hitting me in waves and I'm like, damn, it's one hit after another one, I'd be like, all right, bet I'm about to take that shit on the chin, because I know that my blessing is on its way. Like sometimes you gotta be humbled. Lord, do I know you gotta be humbled. Sometimes Jesus has to humble you in order to get you to where you are going, because when I tell y'all, I felt like I could make it in this world on my own. I ain't need nobody help. And that is not the case. Like God had to humble me, because I thought I was the shit, y'all. Whew. Yeah, I thought I was the motherfucking shit. Couldn't nobody tell me nothing. And I had to be humbled, and in that process I learned so much about myself. And I learned that even if I'm by myself, I'm not really by myself, you know. Like I got friends now, I got people that I can depend on, and I have a sense of peace. Who doesn't want to have a sense of peace? Shit, I do. I don't want to wake up every day and be damn angry. That's why y'all always see me with a smile on my face. Ching ching. Okay, because y'all know what I've been through. I done been through a lot of shit. And if we had about 2-3 hours, I could go and tell y'all some shit. I just thank God that I don't look like what I've been through, because I done been through enough shit. And when I think back on it, I be like, man, God gave me some of his toughest battles. He couldn't gave it to nobody else, because they probably would have broke. But see me, oh, I'm gonna come out of it. I'm gonna come out of it one way or the other. I'm gonna blend out this pink back up into there just to make sure it's a nice little transition. I'm gonna blend out on this side as well. I'm going to start with purple shimmer I showed you guys. And we're going to just apply. Oh, bitch, you try me. Hold on. Because I'm creasing. You may have to go in and, you know, like blend out your concealer a little bit more. And that's okay. It happens to the best of us. It's fine. So you're going to blend it out. And then you're going to go in. And I'm going to leave like just like a little bit of space open. Because like you guys see, I'm leaving like this little space over there open. Because I want to blend that out with a different color. But I'm literally just tapping this onto my, I don't know why my freaking eyeshadow always falls like right here in this area. All the time. It never falls on this side. But on this side, I don't know if it's like a slant in my face. I'm not really sure what the problem is. But I like to build up my color on here. So I'm just building this. Okay. Yeah, but honey child boo boo girl, if you need counseling, mama, you need to go. It's nothing wrong with that. Go get you some help. Because I'd rather see you out here flourishing, you know what I'm saying, than to be out here angry. So if you need help, go and get it. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I'm telling you firsthand, ain't nothing wrong with it. Y'all see how jolly my ass be because I let it go. Let it go. That healing process is ugly. It is ugly. But I'm telling you, the outcome is beautiful. So definitely do it. Definitely do it. All right, I'm going in with like this blue. And we're going to apply it like right here, right on top. Right there. And you just want to kind of blend that into the purple. And also like right over here in that corner too. Okay. And you want to get it in there as much as you can. Or as much as you like. Oh shit. I tried to tap that thing off and it came back. Okay, great. And like if you just tap it onto the purple, it'll blend itself out. So you really don't have to worry about that like too much because it'll blend itself into the purple, you know. So that matte purple, this is now what you want to go in and fill that space in with. So just want to kind of just tap it off in there. And y'all know I like to build my colors, so I can sit here and do this all day until I get it to how I like it. But I'm going to let y'all go. It's like the church service. I'm going to let y'all go on time, okay? I'm not going to sit here and hold y'all up. That is your cotton candy fairy. Like super simple, super sweet, right to the point. Not doing too much at all. That's it. That's it. That be it. Now that's it for this video. Now I'm just playing because I know somebody gonna motherfucking comment. Alright, so I'm rocking, y'all go ahead and excuse that. I'm rocking the latoya lash. I literally just put it on. I don't have on any liner on this eye, like the top coat yet. I have on like a smidget, kind of like this on my other eye though. So I'm going to apply the Duo Lash Glue. Oh my gosh, this one I have really been feeling it because you don't have to worry about like it being way too much. You just get like just enough. These lashes, oh my gosh, let me show y'all. They're so old. I have been rocking these maybe like, this is probably like my 12th time. Anytime I say I have on like the latoya lash in my photo, they're these. I just feel like my lashes just kind of last a long time. Like I don't have to worry about, you know, throwing them away like after 2 uses or anything like that. I probably need to wash these though, like seriously. I probably need to wash them. And with this lash glue, the good thing about this lash glue is that you don't have to worry about like accidentally pulling the string on the lashes. Oh my gosh, if you've never experienced heartache, pull the string on your lash and you will go through it, okay? I also like the fact that with this glue, I don't have to wait forever for it to dry. I can just kind of put it right on. I'm going to show you guys, so hold on. And we're just going to set it like right there. I'm going to clean off the tweezers. Usually I apply them with my hand, but I got on nails, so I can't really do that. And I start on the inner corner and then apply on the outer corner. And I just stick them wherever I want them to go, like not on my lash, but like close. And I'm gonna like just use the tip of the tweezer just to push these together, like my real lashes and the false ones. And then I always make sure that they're kind of like semi-even a little bit, because nobody wants to be walking out here with like the, you know, small big eye. Nobody needs that in their lives, okay? So, and I'll play with them. You guys don't have to, but I play with them until I get them like where I want them to be. Okay, I'm using this. This is the NYX Born to Glow. I'm going to use this on my face and see how this works. I heard it's supposed to be like really good under your foundation. So we're going to see how this works out. Hopefully it comes out really good. Okay, so I just applied the Can't Stop, Won't Stop. And this is by NYX or NYX, whatever. And this is in the shade Cocoa. And I guess I applied way too much because, yeah, you guys see how I'm looking right now. So I'm just waiting on this to dry down because it was a lot just now. And I was like, ooh, that's not right. So once this dries down, then I'm going to go ahead and highlight and conceal. And then I'll show you guys how I do that. I've applied my highlight. That was the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind in the shade 142. So a little bit has changed about my foundation. Not too much, but just like a little bit. So I'm going to take, this is LA Girl Pro Matte Foundation in the shade Ebony. And I'm going to use this to contour. So just going to bring that in there. And because I like a really deep contour, if you're not into that, if you're not the type of girl, then don't worry about that. You guys can just skip over this, and keep using the Ebony from, what is that, Elf. But I just like a little bit of a deep contour. So I've been using this one, and I really like how it's been coming out. So, and I'm blending upwards just a smidget. Alright, so here lately to blend out, I have been using like this little, I guess it's, what is this? This is a RT, which stands for Real Techniques, and this is a setting brush. I guess I'm supposed to use this for setting powder, but I'm totally using it to blend out this concealer. So I kind of let my concealer sit for a little bit, just because I feel like it just moves a little bit better when it's kind of semi-dry. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm moving kind of quickly at this point because I'm running out of storage on my phone. Not on my phone, on my camera. Really should clean it out. Like between my phone and my freaking camera, I'm always out of storage, like all the time. So forgive me, but if you guys need a full tutorial on this, like how I do my face, you guys can totally check out my other videos of how we get that done. But I'm just blending all of this out. Alright peeps, so this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give me a like, and make sure you subscribe to my channel. I love you guys, and I really do hope that this video helps somebody, whoever it was meant to help. Lord, I hope you helped me with the delivery and that they received it and that it really helped you guys. I love you guys so much. Feel free to reach out to me. I try to, you know, respond when I can, but if you guys are going through something and you don't have anybody to vent to, then make sure you guys, you know, just slide in my DMs. I try to respond with positivity as much as I can. I am not a therapist, honey, so don't do that. But if you just need a vent, you know, and just get some things off your chest, then my DMs are always open for that. I love you guys, and thank you so much for watching.